So it's what you and I nurture and nourish ourselves on, that is what we are going to produce. But humanity seems very slow to learn that. And they seem very careless to want to enhance their lives. And that is why they are still stuck with a watered down understanding of these lofty concepts. So the Qur'an tells us that the guidance that was given to Prophet Moses was also called Imam. As when you study the Qur'an, you'll find that the Qur'an is called the Imam. So the Qur'an tells us in chapter 11, verse 17, أَفَمَنْ كَانَ عَلَى بَيِّنَةٍ مِّن رَبِّهِ وَيَتْلُوهُ شَاهِدٌ مِّنْهُ وَمِنْ قَبْلِهِ كِتَابُ مُوسَى إِمَامًا وَرَحْمَةً. So, it tells us very clearly that the guidance that Allah gave to Moses for the extrication of his people from dhulumat. The Quran told Moses, akhrij. Akhrij, it's a very powerful verb in the Arabic language. Kharajam means to go out. But akhrij means take out, extricate, remove from. Moses was told in the same language as Prophet Mohamed was told. Moses was told, akhrij qawmaka min adh-dhulumati ila an-nur. Oh Moses, you have a big job. What is your job? Lead them in prayer? Lead them in rituals? Lead them and still they don't see where they're going? That's the kind of leadership we have, and we believe in that. God told Moses, you're an imam of your people to do what? Take them out of dhulumat and deposit them in an environment of nur. So what imams are supposed to do? Imams are supposed to be people out of dhulumat. And they are supposed to have this inherent capability by the guidance of Allah, that the flock they have, they take them out of dhulumat ila nur, not when they're dead. Not when they're dead. Oh, I have the greatest imam. When I'm dead, I'll be out of dhulumat. Who wants to be concerned about when you're dead? Start with when you're alive. The Qur'an is for the living, not for the dead. The concept of the dead is an expression of those who have decayed and degenerated. Because in the Arabic language, there is a difference between hayyun and ihya'un. There's a massive difference. So Moses was told that guidance we gave to you, that sense, that intelligence, that wisdom, those values, those principles, those perceptions that we have enriched you with, this is what divine guidance is all about. How can you say you are reading divine guidance and you don't become sensible, and you don't become wise, and you don't become intelligent, and you don't become practical, and you don't become somebody who can move yourselves from the dead environment to a lively environment? How can you say that you are holding divine guidance? Don't you see we are in such a rut that we hold the Qur'an in our hands, we read it, we kiss it, we memorize it, we put it all around us, but it's almost the same place we are where we were 40 years ago? Travel this country and go to the Muslim countries, and the stagnation smells in the air. Because divine guidance and religion in today's society is not synonymous with growth and development and escaping the downfalls of society and the dark. It's not synonymous with it. Yet you find people practicing religion in all parts of the world and building monuments in the name of religion and making slogans, but you see them are almost drowning in their darkness. Who's worried about it? If people like you and I, who live in an environment where every day we are confronted with sense, we don't worry about it, you think the people in the third world country who don't have the opportunity to sharpen their intellect this much could make the changes? We are responsible, all of us who live in this country. Because we live, we go to school, we go to college, we go to university. When we talk to the non-Muslims, at governmental level, at municipal level, at business level, at day-to-day level, we talk what? We talk sense. But we practice when we deal with Allah that which is devoid of sense. And that is why you find Muslims, their progress is limited to building masjids with minarets and domes, painting it white and green, putting on clothing that are particular to a region. But Muslims all over the world, their community is not synonymous with what? With light. Their community is not synonymous with light and with enlightenment. Their community is not synonymous with freedom, hurriya. They don't even have that. Their community is not synonymous with what? Growth and development. Their community is not synonymous with insaniya. Their community is not synonymous with adl, wal insaf. Their community is synonymous with beautiful slogans. When are we going to change? We can't change when we're dead. We can't change when we become old and senile and weak and powerless. We can't change because such changes will do no good to nobody. The best time to change is when we are kicking with life. We are ambitious. We have power in our muscles. We are still in charge of our lives and we can make great changes. So the Qur'an tells us that the book that Allah gave to Moses was Imam. Now you can use some basic sense. If the book that Allah gave to Moses is called an Imam, what do you expect the book that Allah gave to Muhammad to be called a Muqtadi, a follower? All the guidance of Allah is meant to be Imams of their community. But what the people did? They put the books of God behind their backs. نَبَذَهُ وَرَاءَ ظُهُورِهِمْ. They put the guidance of God behind their backs and they take human gods and make them Imams. And they lead themselves and their community in a set of rituals on a daily basis that you hardly see growth and development in these people. Wherever you see Muslims are today, it's almost their society is in a sham. I was looking at the news 2 days ago and I was sad. Maybe you're entitled to a different vision because we are all individuals. And I saw in Bangladesh, in Pakistan, in Iran, in Iraq, and I'm only calling a few countries, the display of how these Muslims grieve. They were celebrating Ashura. I know this is very famous with the Shias and the Sunnis. And I can tell you, it's not in the Qur'an at all. It's not in the Qur'an at all. But you can see the beating of the back, and the beating of the chest, and the beating of the head, and you can see the spilling of human blood. This is guidance? Is this the guidance we show to the world? We are staunch Muslims. I mean, look what we show to the world. Some people damage themselves so badly